everybody, and welcome once again to Excelsior Capital Partners, the Rising Series podcast. Today, we're featuring a company called ZenaTech, which is on the NASDAQ, ZENA. So with me from ZenaTech today, we have Linda Montgomery, who's the Vice President of Corporate Development, and Jim Sherman, who is the CFO. So thank you both for being on the program. Jim or Linda, if you could sort of go through the metrics that drove that incredible performance.
Right. Sure. Well, I'll just start off with the summary, if you like. So as you know, we have three business divisions. We design and manufacture drones. We have an emerging drone as a service business where we're providing drone services for inspections, land surveys, whatnot, and we're growing that by acquisition. And then the third part of our business is software. We have enterprise SaaS software division. So our most recent financial results just announced yesterday was that our revenue for 2025 was 12.9 million, which was 558% increase over last year. We made the transition, I guess, from a software company to a drone company. Our revenue last year was 2 million, and that was all from the software side of our business. So this year our drone business was approximately 10 million and 78% of our revenue for 2025. We had a number of other highlights, I guess. I can just quickly take you through them if you like. Our total assets increased by 188% to almost 100 million. Cash and cash reserves were up over the year previous. At the end of the year, we were at 15 million. And we also had growth in our enterprise SaaS software segment. That grew 43% also. And fourth quarter revenue last year was also up 670% over the quarter the year before it at 5.2 million. So this was mostly because of the software drone as a service. So we did 19 acquisitions. We did 20 acquisitions in all, but 19 land survey and engineering companies, and a couple of also a company more involved with inspections of cell phone towers, inspections and maintenance, and also a power washing, a cleaning company. So these are all the kinds of services that we plan to be integrating our drones with to improve the speed, improve the precision, data-rich solutions, and this was most of what brought us to these results last year. But we also did make progress as well on the defense side of our business. Very, very important. We've got two drones, our ZENA drone 1000 and our IQ series drones, but we're focused on inspection or intelligence and surveillance and reconnaissance solutions, cargo solutions for special cargo like blood in the field. We have an inventory management solution we hope to sell to the military. These are all the military applications that we want to sell. And we made progress on engaging with program managers at U.S. defense agencies. And then we also have our drones in the green and blue UAS certification pathway.
That was something, sorry to interrupt, Linda, but that when I am asked questions about drones, it's almost always sort of DOD, or I guess now DOW applications that people are thinking of.
Right.
So maybe you and Jim could walk us through the certification process, the green, the blue, what the sort of milestones and timing would be or are for those programs with DOW.
So the green certification is kind of the first one you have to get, and then the blue certification is purely with the government. that helps, the green certification work that you did helps to speed through the blue certification. And we've been working on those with 3 different drones right now that we produce. And as far as the timing goes, Linda might have a better idea of the timing that we're putting into this.
Okay.
But they're very important with selling to the military. But using the drones ourselves in our own operations, we don't need these certifications. And we
Okay.
have been using the drones for non-military use in the drones as a service. We've been using them shortly after the first acquisition last year at this time. So,
Yeah. So it's a multi-month process.
Okay.
And if this is cybersecurity verification, and also country of origin is an important part of it. The green is run by the Industry Association, AUVSI, whereas the blue, which is the next one, and they're kind of we say it's a pathway because one leads to the other, and actually the process is getting more and more streamlined. Even since we first applied, it's getting to be more and more streamlined.
Okay.
The blue is run actually by the Department of War, and that is so we can be on their procurement list. That's the one we need. Is the most important one is the blue, although the green is important for
kind of a stepping stone to the blue. Yeah.
And also some governments, like state governments and other entities are okay with the green, but we want to get the blue.
Okay. So, and is there, I mean, obviously you have to be careful as a public company, but is there any sort of time frame that you may have publicly announced in terms of the process itself, the green and the blue and that certification?
No, we haven't publicly announced. Internally, we want to get it as soon as possible.
We have done extensive work on it up to this point in time. So we have been working on it for a little bit of time. And we do need to get certain information from our suppliers to move forward on each of the different parts that go in. We are moving forward, but we haven't announced any specific time frame on those things. So, but we have made a great deal of progress from when we first started. So,
okay. And if there were, again, this is hypothetical, but would that type of program for DOW have to be built in the US? I know you have a facility in Arizona, of US components, or how does that work? It's a little difficult with all the rhetoric.
Where the components are sourced from, they have to be friendly nations. So not necessarily everything has to be built in the United States, but they have to be sourced from friendly nations. And we have to actually get certifications from our vendors saying where they source from. So it's not just us sourcing, it's their sourcing too. And then they may even have to get certifications from their suppliers on certain items.
Wow.
So it is a process of figuring out where stuff is coming from. Are you going to be able to produce it in wartime if you're with an unfriendly nation that's not that cannot be sourced from that nation? So it is quite an ordeal and a process of getting this information from other companies. Even our raw ingredients that we put into the drone, we have to have certification on that raw ingredients, where did it come from?
Sure.
Who's manufacturing it? So it is quite an ordeal if you think about every aspect and product that's in your drone, every part and subpart.
Bill of materials.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then those raw materials, where did they come from? So a lot of sourcing, a lot of analysis has to be put together to get the green certification. But once the green certification is completed, then the blue can rely on a lot of that information that was documented in the green certification, and it can streamline you through much faster through that process.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense, and that's I think most people who watch these podcasts know that my background is as a sell-side auto analyst. So that sort of certification, when I used to follow auto parts companies, is incredibly detailed.
Yes.
Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So in Detroit they have to do it, but not because of the government. They just feel like they have to. But it's also, and I would encourage people, I always say this for every company, but I was looking earlier at your deck, the slide presentation on ZenaTech.com, which is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the figures there are just mind-boggling in terms of where we are today, drones, and the one that kept jumping out to me, but again, it's, counter UAS, but that's obviously not the only application. But where we are today versus where we would be, the numbers that you put out, I think it was 2031, maybe 2035. Linda, maybe you want to go through those.
2032, yes. Yeah, I mean, it's 25% double-digit growth every year until then. So we're at the early stages of an industry with some pretty significant growth, according to many market analysts.
Sure.
Yeah, and even if you look at the size of defense budgets, you can see the future demand that is there. Well, demand is there now, even. So,
right.
Yeah.
So it is a very fast-paced growth industry. We're at the very early stages of it. It's going to be growing for the next 5 to 10 years, and even beyond, because this is brand new technology. You have to remember how the cellular phone industry worked back in the 80s and 90s. Those big, huge bag phones, and then we went to flip phones. Now we got smartphones. So the industry developed, but in the cellular industry, it took 25 years as an industry to turn a profit. So at that time, cell phone companies were trying to get as much as the market as possible. And that's what drone companies are doing today. So drone companies are trying to get as much of the market as possible. We do have some burn. All the drone companies have some burn and so forth. But if we burn and are increasing our market share, that's what's most important. Those survivors are going to be the ones that are acquiring the other companies down the road. And
Sure.
The ones that don't grow as fast right now, they're the ones that will be acquired down the road because they won't have the economies of scale. So our focus has been on growth in revenue. As you saw last year, 500 some percent, 600 some percent based on quarter or based on year.
Yep.
That's where we're focused on, because we want to be one of the survivors. And we feel we've done a fairly good job so far of getting there. And we'll continue that growth pattern into the future. It might not be as many multiples in 2026, but it's certainly going to have significant growth in 2026 also.
Okay, sure. And one of the things that we look at Excelsior is, what we look for is management ownership of the company. And I believe, if I'm remembering the slide correctly, is that 60% of the ZenaTech common shares are held by insiders, basically. And so maybe you could, even though maybe either you, Jim or Linda, could talk about your founder, Dr. Sean Presley, and his background and how this sort of came about. And obviously, he is the largest shareholder. So
one thing about that is high insider trading or ownership can be viewed as a good thing or as a bad thing. In a fast-growing industry like this, it's a much positive thing, because if a company loses control, they lose sight on their growth and the future. We're in it for the long run, so we need somebody with fairly good insider stability for the company to be able to roll out that vision for the next 5 to 10 years. I'll let Linda talk about Sean and his background, but I look at it as a very positive thing. So.
Yeah, so Sean has 6 advanced degrees.
Wow.
And he's been an entrepreneur since high school, and he's had he's built many companies, and he has experience leading public companies too from some previous OTC listed companies. So he's got the wherewithal and the vision to and the clarity of vision. If you look at drone as a service, for instance, it was a concept he had a number of years ago. He had wherewithal to register the URL, so he knew we were going to go in this direction. He saw how land surveys, for instance, was such a fragmented industry that was just ripe for drone innovation if you want to take like a first industry to start with.
Yep.
And then he's since 2017-18 the team realized some of the with another software company we had, and doing some work in Ireland, trying to do sort of seed to store kind of analysis, and working in a farmer's field, trying to use some drones to be able to chart different plants. And they were using drones, like off the shelf drones, and realized how they didn't do what they wanted. They had a lot of inefficiencies, and so that was the impetus to say we can do better, we can develop our own drones. And so he's been leading that along with our CTO for since that time.
Yeah, I think that's sorry, Jim, go ahead.
The management team is very strong too. So the chief technology officer and myself have been with Sean for more than 10 years. Working with Sean on different endeavors. So we do understand the business, and we are able to make things happen. Sean is a very solid individual as far as vision goes. He does add a lot of that to the business. So.
Yeah, I think that's, it's something we look for at this market cap range. I think I'd seen ZenaTech today, I think was 108 million. Had a nice day actually on the markets, and we're trying to find publicly traded companies that are run with kind of a VC idea about them, that we can create this. And this, back to Linda's point about the total addressable market, that TAM growth is phenomenal. So I guess the question, and maybe this one's more for Jim, but is how are you scaling the business to handle that kind of growth? I guess you have facilities in, I think, Taiwan, UAE, and then Arizona. What kind of, do you look at it as capacity utilization, or maybe that's 5 years down the road, or you even think about?
We are, so it does become difficult when you grow so fast. We're constantly hiring. We had 3 people just to keep 1 or 2. And training is always going on. We're also looking for new endeavors, not only staffing wise, but area wise. We're looking for new endeavors. We've done a lot of work in the United States with the land survey companies. We want to take this vision to the whole world. And so we're looking for opportunities in various countries to bring this vision forward. But
we most recently announced Korea. So we have an office there. So that's in addition to our manufacturing facility in Taiwan. We own a facility there for component parts that go NDAA compliant parts. The U.S. government wants that we send to our facility in Arizona that we're currently we're manufacturing there. We're currently doing the final commissioning of that facility, and We're in the UK, a long-standing manufacturing facility in UAE. I believe it's like 25,000 square feet there.
Wow.
And we announced we did an LOI for a land survey company in Australia. So we are expanding.
Yeah, so it is a managed growth. Managed growth is very important. We have to get the facilities and are growing into them.
Sure.
And with the military, you have to get a facility ahead of time before you can grow into it, but you have to do all the work ahead of time too. So we're managing these projects, multiple projects throughout, growing drone as a service on a business to business aspect, and business to government. We're working with drone as service, or not drone as service, but certifications.
Right.
Working with the government in Washington, D.C. to develop more strategies. And then we're also working with our software team too. So it's a multi-faceted company that is all coordinating to deliver an effort for the customer.
Mm-hmm. And then on the military side, we've most recently announced we're going to pursue the counter UAS
Yes, I saw that.
area, and also we're going to test and have some operations in Ukraine. So that's recently, and adding to our product set with the interceptor drones, and
so that would be, and now I'm going to sound like I know what I'm talking about, which I don't, but so that would be kind of a drone that fights other drones by like spoofing and things like that, and blocking.
Yeah. So we have a lot of asymmetric warfare.
Yeah.
Now, as we're seeing in the last couple of months, where you get these swarms of enemy drones, and we're using and they could be $10,000 drones, and we're using multi-million-dollar missiles. Yeah, so the idea around interceptor drones is that you're using drone on drone. And then there's a variety of ways they neutralize enemy drones. They could there's one-way interceptor drones that basically stop them in their tracks, and we are developing those drones. We've announced a one-way expendable interceptor drone, and then the other way is that you use a variety of technologies such as lasers to neutralize enemy drones. So we've also have announced a gas version of our ZenaDrone 1000 drone, which is our 7 by 12 foot drone. We're calling it the ZenaDrone 2000, and it will be a little bit different, but we're planning that's going to be part of an integrated defense system. We want to focus on marine-based
cool.
interception, and along with that, we have the IQ glider, which will be a marine-based launch and refueling a station for the interceptor drones. Well, the gas certainly for the refueling for the gas version, but also a launch station for our other interceptor drone as well.
And what is the propulsion system for a non-gas version? Is that just a big battery, or how does that work?
Basically, they're electric, yes.
Okay.
But the drones can stay in the air for about an hour.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, depending on about an hour.
Which drone? I mean, some
depends on which drone, a little bit slightly different.
The ZenaDrone 1000 can stay in the air for an hour, and it can carry a payload of 40 kilos. So it is considered a medium-sized drone, 7 by 12 foot drone. It can do some heavy work. So
okay, and who would, again, this is something that it's a little simplistic, but people always want to talk about comparable company analysis. So who do you think is the best competitor or comp for ZenaTech?
Well, we Well, there's a few companies that we track, and in different sectors. So if you look at just defense, certainly the large companies that have a lot of they've been in the market for a long time include AeroVironment and Kratos. But we're not that we're that's very, very specific, and they're much larger than we are. The other ones are Red Cat and Dragonfly.
Okay. Yeah.
And we look at Ondas and what they are up to.
We're quite a bit different than any of them, though, because we have a drone as a service model that none of them seem to kind of ignore.
Okay.
We're putting drones out there right now. We're using them. We're doing work. We're doing business-to-business work. This is one of the reasons why we've been able to grow so fast.
Do you think that's because maybe with a sort of like AeroVironment with a military heavy outlook, it's more difficult to charge for it, whereas for a land surveying company, it makes all the sense in the world.
These are long selling cycles.
Oh yeah.
And so yes, military is very long selling cycle. We have military aspirations too, and working with DOW, but we can't wait for our growth. Can't wait to get those contracts. We have to grow in the civilian market first, and that's where drone as a service is coming through. It's quite frankly, a lot of the other drone companies have ignored it. Okay. The civilian markets, because maybe they're not getting big headlines, maybe it's not getting big growth, but we're actually growing very fast through our strategy of acquisition. We find a drone in an industry that is ripe for drone technology. We find a company in an industry that's ripe for drone technology. We buy that company, and then we convert it to using drone technology. And a lot of other people, a lot of other drone companies have ignored this area. Yeah, that's where we're growing the fastest in, and it's been good strategy for us right now, and it will continue. But we will have some military aspirations too in time. We have them now, but getting them through the process of the bureaucracy takes time.
Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, our software business, which is very profitable, right. And also it gives us the skill. The software development skill set is so critical for our drone solutions and for analyzing the data.
Is that software drone specific, Linda, or is it more of a sort of enterprise wide?
Yeah, so our software division, we have 12 different brands, or actually it's individual brands, which don't have too much to do with our drone business, but just having the internal skills that those software developers that
you have to have a tech office in the background, basically, to be able to convert some of this data. And so Linda was saying that these brands, they don't support directly our drone activities, but they provide the needed personnel to do the conversion. So so it is a big plus for us, because all the data that's collected has to have a conversion, or else it's not very valuable. And if it was simple to do, then people would be doing it themselves, but it's not simple.
Right.
So taking data for land survey and putting it into a CAD system is somewhat complicated, can take many days to do. Sure. And we're getting it down where we're being able to do it much faster than most of our competitors. So.
And is that, sorry, but we're bumping up on a half hour, so this should be the last one, but this is the one I have to ask every day for every company. Is that an AI problem? Where you talked about with getting the data from the drone of the land survey, getting it into a CAD system where it can actually be used. Is it AI?
AI is helping us.
Yep, very, very critical. We use AI to help operate, drive our drones, wind, and how we can tilt the tilt the rotors of our drones.
Very cool.
It's just one area, and AI used our inventory management solution, reads barcodes. Well, sometimes it's dark, or you can't, there's cellophane over a barcode, so AI can help you decipher what a barcode is supposed to be saying. And even AI in our workflows, we're integrating our drones for drone as a service, but we want AI through a lot of the workflows to just, we're very focused on margins and that business, and that's obviously going to help us.
Mhm.
This is great. Yeah, I could talk about this all day, but we do have a time limit, and I did see also that ZenaTech will be presenting, I think it's AUVSI in Detroit.
Yeah.
So I would imagine there will be a lot of new and, for lack of a better word, cool content.
Well, there is, because drone as a service, why can't we apply this to defense and military? So we're going to explore that a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is great. And, I like stories where you can sort of feed the nerd, and it is a very cool product, obviously, but also, look at intense amounts of actual revenue growth. Again, 558%. So with that, I should wrap it up. So thanks again, Linda Montgomery, Jim Sherman from ZenaTech.
Thanks for having us.
NASDAQ symbol ZENA. And yeah, check it out. I think it's a great story. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you.